said, music's going to be muted. I have the game audio turned down a ton, and I've muted the game music, like in-game music for now. Um, but once we get in game, I'll mess around with the settings so that you guys can, hear the audio and everything and not be deafened. But for now, it's muted. Or not muted, but like turned down a shit ton. So anyway, uh, actually, since we're not gonna have music, let's throw Shadow up in that corner. That's where I originally put him. Yeah, you hear me talking about you, Bobby? What? He's got somewhere in mind. I don't know where he's going. Where you going, Bob? He's thinking. Once he settles down, I'll turn the camera to him. But he's exploring at the moment. Um, but yeah, so let's get into it. I'm not gonna do the intro. Okay. Yeah, he's getting comfy in that basket I told you about. Um, hmm. Fuck. I want it to be one of the cats. Partially because Shadow's here, but also because I just prefer cats. I'm a cat person. What can I say? Name August. Let me move that. There we go. Farm name. Uh, Captain Arby Farm. Oh, Captain Arby 24. There we go. Have it the name of my Twitch channel. And then favorite thing. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know what the favorite thing does. I've done a lot of research for this game, trying to like get better at it, and I still to this day have no idea what favorite thing does. I know that if you put an item as your name, every time they say that name in dialogue, I'm pretty sure that you're supposed to get that item. So if you put like iridium ore is your name, you get iridium ore every time someone says your name in the dialogue. But I don't know about favorite thing. Favorite thing, mac and cheese. Mac and cheese. There we go. We don't really have to change any of this. We do have to change eye color. Because my eyes are blue. They are not brown. Let's do them like a little bit paler. Because mine are sort of like a bluish gray, I think. Good enough. Okay. Hair I'll keep because nah. Let's do this one. See, because this one kind of looks like a mullet, so we'll go with this one. Oh yeah, especially in the back. Look at that. That's a mullet. Hey Ray, how's it going? All right, shirt. Ooh yeah, let's do the green. And then accessories, I think, just gives you like a mustache or a beard. You got it. Oh, he's settled, so. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Ray. Let me move the cat cam since he's finally settled down into a new spot, literally directly next to the old one. I ruined my body to clean, so I'm gonna play MCCI and watch stream now. Oh, that sucks, but that's also simultaneously awesome. So thank you for stopping by. I'll be right back. And then once I get this situated, I'll do my stretch. Hi, Bobby boy. The camera's not situated yet, but you see this motherfucker? See, I've got it on a tripod currently because he likes to lay in spaces where I can't just prop my camera up. lights. I can't like I can't make the lighting. Watch. Boom. Keep cleaning yourself. We all know you're the star of the show, bud. All right, I'm back. He's, I think, situated. So, stretches. I actually need these. I've been editing like all day. Um, which really isn't that long because I've been waking up at like noon, but you know. All right. Let's get into this fucking game, dude. Also, if I need to change the audio settings once I get them situated, once we're in game, let me know. Grandpa. This and for my special grandson. Thank you, Grandpa. Can I can I have it? Can I want you to have this sealed envelope. Okay. That's great. Can I Oh my gosh, look, he's got a little Junimo. I never saw that before. He's got a cute little Junimo. Also, what is up with this sword? Grandpa, why do you have this sword? No, no, don't open it yet. Have patience. Bro. Now listen close. Okay. Is that Grandma? There will come a day when you feel crushed by the burden of modern life. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Well, I already do, so, you know. And your bright spirit will fade before a growing emptiness. Wow. That's, kind of depressing, Grandpa, not gonna lie. When that happens, my boy, you'll be ready for this gift. Why is Stardew Valley giving me more gender affirmation than anyone in my family? What the fuck? Now let Grandpa rest. Forever. Sorry, Grandpa. Oh, what? Oh, I don't like that. The way that they're just watching through glass. I hate that. Terminated. What happened to that? Oh my god, I never remember any of the cutscenes when I'm playing solo. I just skip right through them. That man. That is a full-on skeleton. That is a goddamn skeleton. And they just expect us to ignore that? Life's better with Joja. I don't think so. Oh my god. Oh, that's terrifying. Oh, dude, oil your desk hinges. Fuck. If you're reading this, you must be in dire need of a change. The same thing happened to me long ago. I'd lost sight of what mattered most in life, real connections with other people and nature. So I dropped everything and moved to the place I truly belong. I've enclosed the deed to that place, my pride and joy, Captain Harvey 24 Farm. Let's go! It's located in Stardew Valley on the southern coast. It's the perfect place to start your new life. Where is Stardew Valley canonically in the US? Or is it not in the US and I'm just stupid? Where is it canonically in the world? Because I'm now curious. This is my most precious gift of all, and now it's yours. I know you'll honor the family name, my boy. Good luck. Love, Grandpa. Listen, I'm not a farming person. Like, that sort of hard labor, I'll never be able to do, partially because of my migraines, and, like, even slight exercise can tend to give me a migraine, which sucks ass. But, like, I wasn't grown up in that environment, so I'm not good at it. But if someone was just like, here's a farm, you just have to like keep it going, you don't have to pay for it, I'd be like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm leaving, get me out of here. P.S. If Lewis is still alive, say hi to the old guy for me, will ya? Oh, when I started reading that, I know there isn't any cursing in the game, but I fully thought that he was gonna be like, if Lewis is still alive, tell that man to fuck off. Like, I thought it was gonna be something bad. Ooh. I didn't even notice the seal. That's a sexy ass seal. Hot. Real hate him. No, literally. See, once we get to the shorts part of the game, when we have to find his shorts, I'm the type of completionist that I like to just give it to him. But I saw a cheatsy way to get the like gold hemmed version or whatever. It's like a version of his shorts, but it's still the game thinks it's his original shorts. I'm gonna give him the real shorts, get the glitchy shorts, and then just fuck with him the rest of the game. Like I'm gonna fucking put his shorts. Yes, yes, staircase in the pants. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get his shorts, and then I'm gonna put it in the soup. I'm gonna put it in my fucking in the like 3x3 grid shelf thing for the other thing. Like I'm gonna use any chance I can to fuck with this man. I also really want to get close to both of them and just learn the shit between them. You know. I also want to crash them fucking in a bush, cause ew, why? Like I get if you've got voyeuristic tendencies, but why a bush? This isn't Sims. Hello, you must be August. I'm Robin, the local carpenter. Mayor Lewis sent me here to fetch you and show you the way to your new home. He's there right now, tidying things up for your arrival. First off, Robin is beautiful, but you immediately lose some points for doing what Mayor Lewis tells you to, and apparently being very close to the man. Major dislike. The farm's right over here if you'll follow me. I will follow you. I'd follow you to the ends of the earth, Robin. What can I say? If you are willing to um divorce Demetrius, I'll be Sebastian's daddy. I'm not ashamed of it. I'll be Sebastian's daddy. This is Captain RB24 Farm. That's a mouthful. I didn't realize that when I put it in. Whoops. What's the matter? The matter is the place is a fucking wreck. Sure, it's a bit overgrown, but there's some good soil and oh my god. A good soil underneath that mess. Listen, I understand for game purposes it's gotta be a mess, but if you guys were tidying it up and getting it ready, why didn't you fucking clear it out for me? You absolute bastards. With a little dedication, you'll have it cleaned up in no time. I'm gonna have to put my fucking blood, sweat, and tears in this farm shit. And here we are, your new home. Jeez! I thought this was gonna be like a nice little walkout thing. No, no, no. He just like opened and slammed the door closed behind him. Ah, the new farmer. Yeah. What do we think? Do we want me to do voices? Or do we want me to talk like me? Welcome, I'm Lewis, Mayor of Pelican Town. You know, everyone's been asking about you. It's not every day that someone new moves in. It's quite a big deal. Talk normal? Okay. So, you're moving into your grandfather's old cottage. Yeah. It's a good house. Very rustic. Rustic? When you're rustic when you're buying a house means it's old and shitty, my man. Don't think you're pulling the wool over these eyes. I may not have 2020 vision, but I know a bitch when I see one, okay? Rustic, that's one way to put it. Even Robin knows. Crusty might be a little more apt though. Ugh. No, that's accurate. That's not rude. Ugh, that's disgusting. Don't listen to her, August. She's just trying to make you dissatisfied so that you buy one of her house upgrades. Well, I'm going to anyway. I need a kitchen. She's pissed she got called out. Anyway, you must be tired for the long journey. You should get some rest. Okay. I'm not tired at all. I'm sorry I keep yawning. I'm not breathing enough. Oh, I almost forgot. If you had anything to sell, just place it in this box here. I'll come by during the night. Isn't that terrifying to think about? Mayor Lewis just coming over to a box next to your house, rifling through it, taking everything, and then leaving you cash in return. Like, I don't want this man coming up to my farm in the middle of the night. I want him out of here. I want him gone. I'll walk all the way over to his house and drop the shit on his porch rather than have him come here. Well, good luck. Yeah, fuck you. Good morning. Yeah, progress. Okay. Let's do these settings. This all should be good. Da, 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 da. Emote menu. Wait a minute. This is how people do this. Okay. I had no idea. I've seen people do that in like TikToks, but I didn't know that that was how you did that. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna hope that the music's gonna start playing. If it doesn't, I'll turn it on next time. Let's get these fucking parsnips. Let's go beach. Now it's at a normal level, so let me up the volume. There we go. Here's a little something to get you started, Mayor Lewis. See, I don't want your parsnips, man. I don't. I learned a lot of things, such as to listen to the fortune teller. Welcome to Welwick's Oracle, the only show where the voice of the spirits is channeled directly to you. The spirits are in good humor today. I think you'll have a little extra luck. Nice. I'm not mining today, but that's good to know. See, I learned some things off TikTok, such as that gold and iridium days, so like any day that the spirits are in good humor or great humor, those are mining days. Neutral and bad days are fishing. And that worked out pretty well on my solo world, gotta say. I'm already to year 2, but we'll see how this goes. Give me that. Thank you. I know I have to meet everybody, but I have time. Especially because if I get the bulk of them done, I can just go to the, whatchamacallit at the end of the day. The saloon. That's what it is. Listen, I'm particular about the way my farm looks, okay? Don't come at me. 3, 6, 9, 12, I think. 15. Ooh, hot. There we go. I got pretty good at remembering to do little shit, too. I like to think of, like, me playing on my own time as, like, a practice run for this. Because it made me realize that the entire time that I was playing with 8 forever ago, first off, I wasn't as invested in the game as 8. Like, I didn't have a little Stardew Valley guide or anything. But I was also forgetting little things, like giving water to my cat, quote-unquote petting my animals, and all that shit. But that's important stuff. I thought it was just like, you know, you can do it if you want to, but you don't have to, but apparently it is very important. So, I'll come back and look for more seeds later. I think the bulk of people are going to be out right now, so I want to try to snag them if possible. Oh, shit. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just grab whatever I see. I don't have the space for that. I don't have a full inventory yet. My disposal. Can I pick this up or is this gonna be different? No, it's good. Okay. Let's go back to the house quick, make a chest, and throw everything that we won't need in the chest. I will say, even though I was playing on my own, there's some things that I now know to, like, change. Like, placement of things. Not that that matters a ton, but, you know, ease of access or whatever. Yeah, sap's not that useful, so we can lose it for now. It'll be useful later once we have more recipes, but... Okay, we need 50. Inventory full. Suck my dick, okay? Remember, after you get your backpack upgrades, you'll be able to switch between hotbars. I didn't know that. That's smart, though. Thank you. I will definitely remember that. Well, realistically, I might need a reminder, but, you know. For now, it doesn't matter. So. Alright. I will... I didn't mean to throw that away, but but it's fine. We don't need any of this while we're running around. Okay. Let's go meet some people. Let me grab my scraps. I guess we can have music playing. Hold on. It's just gonna be country. I don't have much country on my playlist. Admittedly, it's one of those things where every once in a while there's a song that I want to listen to that's country. But that's mostly because I grew up around country, so it's like, oh, this is a song from my childhood. Turn that down. There we go. It's just gonna be background. They'll play the only country songs on my playlist, and then it'll just go wild. So, Dolly Parton. You know what? Here, I'll cue some Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton. Yeah, let's cue 9 to 5. Jolene. Reba McEntire. The farmer would listen. So true. Farmer would listen to Dolly Parton. Farmer would be a big Dolly Parton stan. Like, goes to the concerts, has merch, fucking loves Dolly. Because not only is she country, that shit's relatable. So true. She's not just country, she's like badass country. Also, you're gonna see me rifling through trash cans unapologetically. So if you're not okay with that, sorry. I'm a filthy little trash boy, okay? Wait. I have to talk to you. Ah, Mayor Lewis told me you just arrived. I'm Mari. Did Mayor Lewis tell you I was arriving? You were having sex with him? I'm gonna think yes. Hi, Emily. Oh, I can read it on your face. You're going to love it here in Pelican Town. I can't play multiplayer with other trash riflers. I get sad when I can't rifle them. Literally, I was the trash rifler between 8 and I, and 8 was the one that was like, stop being in the trash, or would call me out when they knew I was rifling, because they were being smart about it. They're like, oh, don't rifle through the trash. If you get caught, then it messes with your relationships with the people. And I was just like, trash. If you're ever looking for something to do in the evening, stop by the saloon. That's where I work. I will take you up on that offer, but mainly because I need to meet all the people in the town. Speaking of, I'm gonna go in here. Yes! Just, oh, didn't mean to sit on your couch. I'm sorry. Oh, you aren't exactly how I imagined, but that's okay. I'm Jody. Nice to meet you, Jody. I would also be somewhat willing to be Vincent's stepfather. Listen, it only messes up if you get caught, so you just gotta do it first thing in the morning or late at night. True, true. Ooh, a stranger. My name's Vincent. Mama says not to talk to strangers, but you seem okay. Thank you, Vincent. I appreciate that. I forgot that I had the ties for my hoodie tucked in because I was washing my face and did not want them to get wet. Granny! Why, hello and welcome to our little community, dear. You can call me Granny if you like. I will. You are my granny now. Actually, I think I have a granny canonically, but you're my new granny if not. Okay. Who did I see walking by? Hello, Caroline. Hello, you must be August, new farmer. I'm Caroline. Nice to meet you. Farmer does not have a grandmother. No? Okay, perfect. Granny is my granny. Did we canonically have a grandmother? Or can we just assume that Granny and Grandpa got it on? It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Harvey, local doctor. Nice to meet you, Harvey. We're talking about serious conversations right now, including whether or not Evelyn is truly my grandma. Morrow in here? Hello? No, I didn't think so. Wow. There's Robin. Hello. Hey, it's Mr. August, the new farmer. I'm Pierre, owner of the local general store. I know who you are. If you're looking for seeds, my shop is the place to go. I'll also buy produce from you for a good price. Listen, if it's between you and Jojamart, I will always go to you, 100%, because fuck Jojamart. But also, I want to be completely independent. So, in that respect, fuck you. True. Very true. Truthfully, I'm not into really any of the guys in Stardew Valley. Like, I'm just not into them. George? George! It's irritating to have to meet all these new people, huh? Name's George, by the way. Now buzz off. Did he kind of break the fourth wall a little bit there? How does he know I have to meet everybody? Dun dun dun. Maru, hello. Oh, aren't you the one who just moved in? I'm Maru. I've been looking forward to meeting you. Nice to meet you. Hating Piers is like having beef with a local mart because the owner's a dick, but still going there all the time because it's either that or Walmart. That's exactly what it is. You just called it word for word. That's 100% what that's like. Because I don't want to support Jojamart, because fuck Jojamart, like, in every sense of the word. But also, Pierre is so fucking snooty. I hate it. Alright, Clint should be home. Never mind, he closes at 4. I thought he closes at 5. My mistake. It's okay, we can... Yeah, Gunther! Hello there, welcome to the Stardew Valley Archaeological Office. This is embarrassing, but the previous curator made off with the entire collection. We don't have any artifacts for display. What sort of curator does that? But I'm hoping to remedy that soon. Hey, if you find any artifacts or minerals out there, would you let me know? Absolutely. I won't even hesitate. What's this? Tips on farming. Use fertilizer to improve quality, reduce workload, or hasten crop growth. Fruit trees take a whole season to grow, but they require very little maintenance. Keep the area directly around your new sapling clear, or else it may not grow properly. Crops will die as soon as the season ends, unless they grow in multiple seasons. Corn. Some crops, such as kale and wheat, need to be harvested with the scythe. Okay. I know rice needs to be harvested with the scythe. Look at that. Dude, the trash today is dookie. All I got is Joja Cola. It was me. I ate the rocks when I... Were they good, at least? Like, were they yummy, or was it not? Elliot! Ah, the new farmer we've all been expecting, whose arrival has sparked many a conversation. I'm Elliot. I live in the little cabin by the beach. It's a pleasure to meet you. Nice to meet you, sir. Yummy! I will say, a little sad to find out that if any of these beach items spawn in the, like, path of one of the townspeople, that they will just walk right over it and break it. They tasted salty. Fun fact, most rocks IRL taste pretty salty. Ooh. I wonder if that's one of those things that, like, because was it pots that you crave salt? So if you are prone to eating rocks, you know, kind of makes sense. Hello, it's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Leah. You picked a good time to move here. The spring is lovely. Alright, saloon's gonna be open by now. Listen, I have a doctor's appointment in a week. Okay, alright. Alex. Oh, hey, so you're the new guy, huh? Cool. Oh, I was watching a TikTok or a video or something, and they were showing the, you'll see it. They were showing the old versions of these, and some people looked so much hotter in old versions, or reverse, and just looked horrific. But I don't remember who it was. I think Shane looked really good in one of them. I don't remember. I don't know you. Why are you talking to me? I'm just trying to be nice, my man. See, I'm not a Shane sympathizer. He's a dick, okay? I get that he's in a bad place mentally, but to right out the gate go, why are you talking to me? I don't know you. Fuck you! You absolute bastard. Hey kid, the name's Pam. Hi, Pam. I love the cult following that Pam has, by the way. Nothing like a sip of the good stuff to warm these old bones. You got it, Pam. But just like the way that people have made mods solely surrounding Pam, so you can have like a Pam horse, a Pam cart, like shit like that is amazing. And then I think there's a new one now that you can have a Pam bus, and it's filled to the brim with Pams while looking like Pam. Hi, Gus. Well, hello there. I'm Gus, chef and owner of the Stardew Saloon. Gus, that jacket looks horrendous. I'm so sorry to break it to you. This song is in the newer version of Footloose, not the original, where they race, or I think they race tractors. No. The newer one where they race buses, and one of the buses catches on fire. I prefer that one, but I watched the original second, so. But yeah, this song, so good in the movie. Okay, we'll try again tomorrow. I know I have to get Demetrius, Sebastian, the wizard. Who else? I can't sell any of these at the moment because I have to put them away. Listen, it's what was recommended, okay? Put away 2 of everything in case people want it. So don't come for me. I'm trying to remember. What was his name? I'm trying to remember the fucking one of the... No, not 2011. Yes, okay, the 2011 Footloose with Miles Teller. That's his name. With Miles Teller as Willard, the best friend of Ren McCormick, aka the main guy. Kenny Wormald. Didn't know his name. It's honestly got kind of a killer cast looking back at it. Dennis Quaid as the Reverend. Andy McDowell. She's pretty big in a lot of movies. Da 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 da. I want to see if I'm sorry. I just want to see if there's anyone else I know. I don't think there is. Okay. Oh, you recommend hoarding trash too? Oh yeah, I'm assuming because of the recycling machines or whatever the fuck. Yeah. I have a line of those things. 18 out of 28 people. So I need to greet 10 more people. Trash is trash gets you. Very true. Yeah, I'm not one to sell trash. Trash recycled gets you money. It's very true. It gets you sticks, stones. May break your bones, but words may never hurt me. Sticks, stones. What is that? Quartz? Recycled quartz or something, I think? Refined quartz, sorry. Advertisement. I keep finding cool stuff, but my backpack is full. Does this sound like you? Well, Pierre's got you covered. Stop by Pierre's General Store today and check out our affordable size 24 backpack. See you soon. Yeah. Hello there. Just got back from a fishing trip. You should come down to the beach sometime. I've got something for you. Willie. Thank you, Willie. I like to think of Willie as that odd uncle. You know what I mean? Like, he's a little silly goofy. But he's a fine guy. Oh. Why are you full? Did I fill that and I wasn't paying attention? Where am I? I want to get enough wood so I can make a chest for all my stuff I'm saving. Raw! Everything's in my way! Pissed. Willie's great. So true. He reminds me of my Uncle Brian. I love that most people have Uncle Brian's, by the way. It's just such an uncle name. But, he reminds me of my Uncle Brian just because he's, like, you know, a bit more redneck. Does his own thing. Except Willie has his own business. My uncle lives with my grandparents. And not because he is taking care of them. He just refuses to move out. Couldn't even tell you why. No shade to Uncle Brian, though. We love him. He's the one that gives us practical gifts, like crazy flashlights and battery packs. or the power banks or whatever. He's the uncle that gives you that shit. I think he's also given me a blanket before, which I'm not complaining about. I always need blankets. At the moment I have quite a few, but they get dirty fairly quickly because there's a dog on my bed. She's lying in my spot right now, the bastard. She does that too. She knows it's my spot, so she'll lay there when I'm not. And then she gets all sad when I tell her to move. I'm like, that's where my ass goes, not you. Motherfucker. Okay, this is gonna be green. I'll color coordinate them once I get more and more chests, but she hands me change, power cords, blankets, etc. He sounds just like my mom. That's literally what my uncle is like. He gives you just like the practical gifts. And then, speaking of change, he doesn't give us change typically, but I'm bringing this up because it's a family story that they bring up all the time. When I was younger, like probably 2 to 5, I used to have, I've talked about it before, I used to have a lisp. But I also, I used to have a lisp and my brother couldn't say his R's. He would say W's. Oh, you, I need to meet you. Hi. Oh, is she shy? That's cute. Can you walk, please? I have a trash to rifle through. Anyway, yeah, I would like my S's. Like I'd stick my tongue between my teeth and say my S's, and my brother couldn't say his R's. So it was this like wicked combination. And at some point I picked up his W's instead of R's. Not seriously, but I did it almost like unconsciously a lot. And one time I knew that my Uncle Clifford, my Uncle Cliff always had change. I'm thinking about the country music. Always had change in his pockets. So anytime I saw him, I would ask him if I could have the change in his pockets. But I was like a child. I didn't say it like that. I would go, Uncle Cliff, I can have 2 trees? I can have 2 trees? Don't know where the fuck I got 2 trees from. But sometimes I would like say W instead of R. I'm not testing the waters right now because I'm already I'm feeling like I'm reverting back to my lisp that I do sometimes. But I'd go up to him and I'd be like, Uncle Cliff, I can have 2 trees, and he'd give me all the change in his pocket. I made out like a fucking bandit. I tried it a couple Thanksgivings ago, I think, and he just laughed at me. He was like, haha, you know, something from your childhood, haha. Like, no, give me your change. I have a change jar, give me your change, motherfucker. Oh, that's right, I heard someone new was moving on to that old farm. Yes, it's me. But yeah, I'm like a change goblin. You can ask almost anybody that knows me, really, especially the people that I was rooming with in college. There was specifically, oh, sorry, Robin. Goddamn. It's not like I was trying to leave or anything. But yeah, when I lived in the suite with Maria, Georgia, Sydney, and Jesse, Maria all the time would have change, and she would just like hide it around the place for us to find, like it was a little game. And when she noticed that every time I saw the change, I would snatch it up as quick as possible, she started telling me specifically when she was doing the change hunt. And I would be like a fucking gremlin, moving everything in the suite, trying to find out where she hid the change. And she would sit there on the couch watching and laughing. My mom has given me $14 worth of change since she started her new job because she gets tips. Wow. I love everything about that, personally. Who am I missing? I know some of the people I'm missing, but I wanna... Okay. I'm missing 8. Not the person. The number of people. We are missing Haley. That fucking guy. Clint. Oh, I can hit Clint. Well, I can hit Clint, but I can get him crossed off. I'm missing 8, the person. Me too. Missing our boy. Missing a lot of the guys. Oh, we're missing Penny. I haven't bullied them in so long. I'd say you should at them and tell them to get their ass in here, but it's a busy week for them. I think they said that they're like not gonna be home almost at all this week. I don't remember what they're doing. But they were showing me their new room because they moved into the basement, and they were saying that they're not even gonna be home to enjoy it for the next week. Hi, I'm Clint. Nice to meet you, Clint. I love he says I dislike Clint purely because he goes after Emily, even though I don't want Emily. But I also dislike him because he sort of talks like one of those, like, guys that I have to show you because I can't fully describe it. But the guys are like, hi. You know, that type of thing. The thing that people make fun of on TikTok. The, like, over animation and, like, they never left, musically. That type of thing. Yeah. Good shit. Yeah, I'll bully them next week, as you should. Yeah, the nice guys. Exactly. What are the chances? Oh, you're that farmer boy, aren't you? Yes, I am. I will never go for Haley. I get a lot of my advice and shit that I've learned from Lumi, Lummi. I see their TikToks all the time. Why does it sound like that? But they always go after Haley and they like praise Haley. I can't. Haley's the photographer, yes, which makes her slightly better, but she seems so fucking vapid. Like, holy shit. Oh, Demetrius. Greetings, I'm Demetrius, local scientist and father. Thanks for introducing yourself. No, thank you. Haley and Alex are like the mean kids in high school. Exactly. Exactly. Linus! Linus, Linus! A stranger? Hello. I like befriending him. Don't mind me, I just live out here alone. Okay. I like befriending him just because he seems so sad. Like, when I rifle through the trash cans, everyone's like, ew, what are you doing? When he rifles through the trash cans, they're like, shoot, get out of here, like he's a fucking raccoon. Man doesn't deserve it. He also, if they see him rifling in the trash cans and it's a community this small, why don't they just feed the man? You know, instead of throwing out entire meals in the trash, cough, cough, Gus, why don't you feed him? I will never understand, but... Alright, let's hop down and see if we can grab Willy. Get him off our list. We have to meet the wizard still. But I don't think we can meet him until we have his, like, quest line or whatever, right? I don't know. Look at him smoking his pipe. Ahoy there, son. Hello. Also, to be fair, Linus is right. These bitches throw out full meals. Literally! Heard there was a newcomer in town. Good to finally meet you. Ow! I pulled a hangnail and it ripped down my fucking finger. That was a little painful. Ah, I'm still trying to unwind from a month out on the salty seas. There's a bit... Also, why does he look like the homeless man more than Linus does? Linus looks like a caveman. He looks homeless. Look at that fucking hat. Also, is that blood? I need to know. It's a big haul. I sold a lot of good fish. Finally saved enough to buy me a new rod. Willy's Willy. Here, I want you to have my old fishing rod. It's important to me that the art of fishing stays alive, and hey, maybe you'll buy something from the shop once in a while. Maybe. Not often, but maybe. You received a bamboo pole. Thank you. There's good water here in the valley, all kinds of fish. Okay. Oh yeah, my shop's back open now, so come by if you need supplies. I'll also buy anything you catch. If it smells, it sells. That's what my old pappy used to say anyway. Well, your pappy might be right. But that phrase is a little disgusting in my opinion. If it smells, it sells. Ugh. Excuse me while I gag. Oof. Yeah! A clam! Technically, I was supposed to save these as well, because I know I can use a bunch of these in one of the community center bundles. And you're also supposed to save them in case someone's like, hey, I want this, you know? But I'm gonna sell the stuff I find on the beach. Just for a little while, just so I have some income. Did I talk to you? No, I didn't. Oh, hello, I'm Penny. Nice to meet you, Penny. Is Penny the artist? I feel like I remember Penny being the artist. Okay, we are missing 2 people. Who are we missing? We're missing Fuckhead and Dingus. Sebastian. Dude, Sebastian, I hate... 8 loves Sebastian. So, sorry, 8. If you ever see this. But I hate Sebastian's schedule. Because he's in his house, was it like every day till noon? Like, me. But also, like, from a gamer standpoint, I want this man to leave his fucking house so I can talk to him. And so I can do shit. Is he here right now? Yeah, look at that shit. He's always playing video games. Which is, you know, pot kettle, but fuck. Leave. I'll have to get him and the other guy tomorrow. Did I miss any worms? I might have. Truthfully, sometimes I just zone out because I'm so used to this pathing. Oh shit, I didn't clear the area over here. No! Okay, let's go this way. There we go, I'm free! Get away. And then I have this shit, right? Yeah, cool. Wait. Yeah, I'm not missing the leeks, I'm missing the horseradishes. I knew I was missing something. It's just not what I thought it was. I'm bleeding. Go to sleep for the night? Yes, please. Yeah! Field snacks! Wild seeds. Trees sometimes drop seeds. Okay. We have a little bit more cash. So let's go to Pierre's store today and buy what we can. Ooh, perfect day for it. It's fucking rainy, bitch. I also want to go to Willie's shop and get the training pole, because the training pole helps us level up faster. So use that for a little bit and then switch it out for the real one once we get to a certain level. Alright. We've got a little bit of time. Let's clear out some area, I guess. Clear ourselves some shit. See if we can get some more of those seeds. And maybe some... whatchamacallits. Bitch. Whatcha? Yeah. Pa 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 pa. Why am I so EP? Do not look at me doing like 10 tests today. No, literally. I was like, before stream, I wasn't sure if I was gonna have the, like, energy for stream, because I can sort of bring energy out of nowhere if I'm playing, like, Phasmophobia, for instance, just because that's one of those games that sort of lends itself to comedy and, like, does the work for you in a lot of ways. But this game, you really have to carry it yourself, especially if you're playing solo. Like, there's a lot of just quiet, mundane stuff that makes you kind of tired. So I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. I'm kind of sleepy. And I was like, why am I so sleepy? Well, one, still haven't fixed my sleeping schedule. But also, I was staring at a computer screen for hours on end. I wonder. Yeah, Solo Stardew is a night wind down game. Exactly. It's a very mindless game in a lot of ways. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock somewhere. So let's go hit Pierre's and Willie's. I'm gonna have to go over there in a second. Put a light over there or something, because he is in the dark. I think he prefers it, but the camera doesn't. Yeah. I would like. Oh, fuck, it's a Wednesday! No! Ah, that's upsetting. Suck. Oh, I'm so upset. That's just one of those specifically Stardew Valley things where you get furious because someone closed their shop on a day where you were ready to go. Man could have his shop closed any other day and I'd probably be okay with it. But a Wednesday, literally middle of the week, fuck you. Nothing worth it. On the beach. Let's go to the beach. Nicki Minaj. Training rod. I'll probably spend the rest of the day doing training rods. My mom is still upset a local dessert shop is closed 2 to 6. That would be me. If I, like, became obsessed with a specific food or something, like my lobster mac and cheese, but it was like something more local, and I went there a ton. Like a lot of people go to the same coffee shops all the time. If it was that scenario, I'd be the same way. I'd be like, what the actual fuck? I want my shit. Why can't you be open at least just for me? I can't pay you to be open, but I can pay you for the thing I would usually— Oh, Sebastian! I'll pay you for the thing I'll usually buy. Oh, you just moved in, right? Cool. Yeah, it's cool. I know. You then didn't need you to tell me, bitch. Who do I still need? I need that boy. What the fuck's his name? I got Alex. Da, 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 da. Ooh, hello operator. If you don't get him, just wait for Eggfest. True. Yeah, it is Sam. Thank you. Okay. I'll try, see if he's home. If he's not, that's fine. I'm gonna fish the day away anyway. Yeah. Hello. Yeah! Hey, I'm Sam. Good to meet you. Good to meet you too. Let's go! Okay. Give someone a gift? No problem. I'm gonna give you this fucking green algae. Yuck, what is this? It's algae. Take it and like it, motherfucker. His shadow? Yeah, he's over there. Here, let me... I was just talking about putting a light over there. Let me turn a light on or something over there so you can see him in his little basket. He's in such a bad spot. You're gonna want a bunch of green algae for fish ponds? Oh, okay. Hello. Please stop saying hi to me. Okay, hopefully that's a little better for you guys. Baby gray cat. Literally. Little baby boy. Dude, he's been an asshole today. So, my parents are gone until Friday, right? They're down in North Carolina. So I'm taking care of the pets and everything, you know, feeding them, letting them out, whatever. He is such a little asshole. He meows when he's hungry. I'm not paying attention enough to be doing this right now. But he meows whenever he's hungry when he thinks it's dinner time. But he'll also just scream and meow when he feels like it. And that was happening a lot today. I would be like sitting in the chair editing. I'd get up to get myself a drink or food or something, and he would book it out into the kitchen because you have to go through the kitchen on the way to where his food is. He'll book it to the kitchen and then just start going meow, meow, same tone every time. I ended up screaming. Yeah, typical cat behavior, literally. I'd start screaming at him to match his energy. I'm like, Shadow! Shut up! And it's not even like... It's not even that the meow itself is that annoying. It's the volume. And then when he didn't get his way, he got upset. And proceeded to scream up and down the staircase. Because that worked, apparently. I don't know, he's just a little prick. Like you said, typical cat behavior. Other than that, he's a sweet little asshole, though. He cuddles a ton. He was cuddling next to my laptop, and then on my laptop a little bit when I was editing. He likes the heat. He'll, like, deliberately lay on remotes or phones, again, because of the heat. And then you'll be like, oh my god, where's my phone? Or where's the remote for this and this? You won't know until it gets up. You have no idea. It's gone. As far as you're considering things, you have to go and buy a new phone. Like, I hate to break it to you, but that's his phone now. It's never coming back. You might as well just accept it at this point. Oh, dude, I'm so sad. I was going to switch out beds with my brother, because my brother's not living here anymore. And I was gonna switch out beds with him because he's got this like nice ass bed frame, like one of the white 4-poster bed frames, you know. And my bed frame, I don't even know if it's the bed frame or the box spring, but one of the two's broken. So there's a big ass beam, wooden beam, just like sticking out of the bottom and scraping along the floor anytime I move my bed. So I was like, oh, I'll switch out with him and I'll switch out like mattresses or whatever. I didn't realize how big his bed frame is. Oh, this is what I was talking about before, geodes. So I can open those up with Clint. But his bed frame is taller than mine. Oh, speaking of green algae. But yeah, the bed frame's taller than mine, so I can't get it through the doorway. I'd have to disassemble his bed, and I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So we're sticking with mine. Mine is like a bed frame, or like the bottom of a bed frame. Welcome back, Ray. And then the like headboard that you see in the background, that's like drilled on. It's like a whole separate thing. But yeah, maybe one day I'll switch them out, but for now I'm sticking with my shitty bed that the animals like. More algae. Dang. Immediately? Hot. Oh yeah, more smallmouth bass. I think smallmouth bass aren't part of the bundles. It's largemouth bass, so I can sell all those. Listen, my floor is literally on the floor. You mean your bed is literally on the floor? My floor is literally on the floor and cats love it. That's so fair. I think my dog prefers I think my dog prefers my bed over his bed just because my bed is like slightly lower and she's old, so it's more difficult to get up there. My cat couldn't care less. When I go into Cannon's room, my brother's room, to get stuff, he'll walk in, lay on his bed. Like, he doesn't care what bed it is. I will say he doesn't seem like he's one of those cats that has any preference when it comes to height. Like, he's not a cat that loves climbing tall things or things like that. But he's also not like a cat that hides in little spaces. I don't know. He's like a nice in-between. He likes dark spaces, like dark little cozy spaces. Like, he likes the little bin that he's in. He likes the paper bag on the table downstairs. And whenever I lift up blankets, he likes to go under the blankets, although he's iffy about that one. Why? I don't know, but he'll like stick his head in and look around. But then as soon as you try to put the blanket on top of him, he's over it. He's done. He's had enough. Okay. I don't even think Joja Cola doesn't get you anything, right? So it's better to keep it. I mean, it's better to keep it anyway because, you know, energy, even though it's a little bit, but energy. There we go. No, it gives you money. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna sell it then. Because I can get better shit from the trash cans. I can get full, like, meals, full dishes. I can get Granny's cookies and all that shit, so. Yeah! Fishing rod proficiency up. Let's go. What song is this? Oh, it's a new song. That's why I didn't recognize it. Okay, what kind of day is it? Because I think the mines are open, right? They open on like day 3 or something. Welcome back to Welwick's Oracle. If you seek hidden knowledge of the future, well, you've come to the right place. The spirits are somewhat mildly perturbed today. Luck will not be on your side. Okay, fishing day. We fishing, bitch. What I really need to do is go to fucking Pierre's and get my shit. Okay. Admittedly, I don't have the game full screened right now. Is that from yesterday? Anyway, I don't have the game full screened right now, so I can't see like a tiny, tiny little bit of the bottom. So if you see me not realizing how many of an item I have or whatever, it's because of that. I'm gonna full screen it once I get my second monitor in, but for now, this is just easiest. I'm playing parkour right now, and this one jump at the beginning is the worst because it's like all luck. Oh. See, I'm decent at parkour, but I'm not like a person that enjoys parkour. If I'm doing it for like a stream with someone else or I'm doing it for an event or whatever, yeah, I'll do it. Or if I'm bored and I'm in a lobby and there's parkour, I'll do it. But I'm not someone who like enjoys parkour. I'm, especially if it's like competitive, I'm way too competitive for that stuff. And then like you said, there's some jumps that are like all jump or you need to do the stupid or all luck. And then there's the jumps that are like ridiculous. Because it's like, oh, you have to jump before you jump. You know, that stupid like double jump thing? Like, fuck you. Me enjoying is debatable. Yeah, that's very fair. On the bright side, because we've waited a little bit, we have more money to buy things, so that's nice. So us buying seeds, we aren't gonna like empty the bank. Although I am primarily gonna empty my bank still. But it's one I can do. Very fair. Yeah, we'll see how we do here. Hello. Okay, we want 2 of everything, but we want a shit ton of potatoes. I remember that. We want to like buy as many potatoes as we can. So if I remember, the potatoes are where it's at. I mean, these are nice because it keeps producing, but the thing is it's a trellis. So you have to have space to be able to get up to it and shit. It's annoying. I know. Can we buy quality soil from him yet? Or quality fertilizer? No, I didn't think so. Well. Okay, we won't be able to crack this open today, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. Yeah, he's got such a pretty face. He's been calling me for days. Had to give him a try. Student body, best in class. Got me foolish for that ass. Yeah, he's one of a kind. First date said I love you. Second date met his mother. Now he's leaving all this shit in my place. He's been looking through my phone, breaking in when no one's home. 0 to 60, this boy's going crazy. Water. Bitch. Oh. I double watered. Whoopsie. I'm gonna have to get rid of these trees. They're in the way of my farming. How many do I have? 3. Okay. This is a little awkward. Here. Just because this is also potatoes right here. Just, there we go. Ta-da! Okay, fishing time. Actually, wait. No. I was gonna see if I can make a build bar to eat, but I cannot. Is this the right tree? No. No. Okay. That's fine. Get this shit out of here, motherfucker. I should be able to just eat my catches, as non-smart as that is. I'll do that, because fuck you. That's why, bitch. Hi, Mayor Lewis. I'm gonna find those fucking shorts of yours. I'm gonna use them for nefarious purposes. You will never know. We're going fishing in the sea today. We're not gonna fish where Willie tends to fish at night. We're gonna fish over here. Who are you inside? Show me the scary part. I got a little silly goofy with that one, I have to admit. Ooh, I like the color of the herring. Like, that purplish blue is so pretty. My brain thought of a color name, but I don't think that's correct. Periwinkle? I know I'm getting that from... Okay. Kinda close. I know I was getting that from Blue's Clues for sure. That's where my brain took that from, but it's not quite right. It's kind of similar to the lightest part of the herring, but not quite. It's a little bit more blue than the herring. Herring's a bit more purple. Show me the scary part. Damn, it is herring day. Which is good, because if I get more than 2, I can sell all but 2. Thank you for letting me know about the green algae. I had no idea, by the way. I have never... Sardine! Oh, look at him in my hand! I've never gotten one of the fish ponds. So that wasn't something I was aware of, but duly noted. Show me the scary part. Seaweed! I got seaweed. I didn't even realize. Oh, tip for fishing. Bring a chest with you. Yes! Yes, I did know that. I probably should have done that today, but I did know that. Thank you for reminding me. Because I was doing that on my solo world, but then one time I left it there, and I left it where, like, character pathing goes, so they broke my chest. All the stuff was just chilling on the beach, but they broke the chest itself, so I didn't get that back. But I'll have to remember to start bringing chests. I'm really sad that there's no way to, like, pick up a chest while it's full, right? Because I was kind of sad about that. You can pick up a chest, it has to be, like, empty. We're not listening to this right now. Nope, not without mods. I'm one of those people that would get mods like that just to slightly improve the game. little shit like that, you know? Ooh. Dude, Seven Nation Army was like a meme at our high school because the band, it's such a band song and it's like they played it all the time. So anytime people mentioned Seven Nation Army or played it or whatever around band kids, everyone would lose their fucking minds. New record. You feel exhausted, suck my big toe, okay? No. I'm exhausted, but I'm not so exhausted I'm gonna pass out. So I'm good. At least until after this fish. There we go. Okay. Eat seaweed. There we go. And then... what do I have a lot of? A lot of herring. We'll eat one of the herring. We'll eat another one. Okay. Good enough. Woo! Perfect. See, guys, the game told me I'm perfect. Must be true. The game knows what's up. It's alright. Dude, can I just say, I am so hyped for tomorrow's stream. For anyone that didn't know, tomorrow night is going to be Inebriated Phasmophobia. I think the majority, or I was going to say the majority because I thought 3 of us are getting high, but I think it's just going to be me and Levi getting high, and then Finn and Chise are both going to be drunk, I think. Should be very fun. I'm excited. Magma geode. I like these better just because they look prettier, but I don't think there's any difference to a regular geode, is there? Other than, you know, where you usually get it. I'm very hyped for y'all. She's saying, yeah. Birch. Oh. Yeah, but yeah, tomorrow's gonna be the Inebriated Phasmo stream. Levi showed up at my house yesterday and was like, we traded one of my gummies for, yeah, Stardew. But we traded one of my gummies for stuff that Levi was gonna give me anyway, so we had like a little fake drug deal out on the street. It was hilarious. I will say, I feel like I kind of got the better of the deal because I got $100 and I got a cute little card because we, oh, that's upsetting. There's one of the little spots. I don't have the energy for it. But yeah, Levi and I photographed a wedding last weekend, I think. That's an expensive edible, literally. A very specific way to pay for it too. $100 and a sweet card from people that aren't you. But yeah, we photographed this wedding, or I photographed it and Levi recorded it for the bride and groom. And they gave us a cute little card that said like, "Oh, thank you. Everyone was like remarking on how well you guys did and how personable you were and yada yada yada." All that sweet stuff. And it's such a cute little card. Like, I love it. Yes, the best way to trade a sweet card for my drugs, literally. Dude, I would be I see you, motherfucker. Don't come back here. I'd be one of those people that would, like, totally go for that. Wait, I'm putting these in the wrong chest. But yeah, I'd be the person to be like, you know what? If I have an extra edible, I will 100% trade it to you for a sweet card. Just give me a card telling me I'm pretty or telling me that I'm nice or whatever the fuck, and I'll take it. Like, have the fucking edible. I'll put that card up on my wall. Alright, let's go to sleep. Yeah! I can make bait! Let's go, baby! Oh, my eye itches. Yeah. You bastard! Oh. Fuck you, man. Wee. Ooh, gold star parsnip. That's one of the community center things, right? So I'm gonna keep that. And then I'm gonna keep 2 regular parsnips. What's up? To our valued JojaMart customers. I am not a valued JojaMart customer. I dislike you. Our team members have removed the landslide caused by our drilling operation. So they cleaned up their own mess, is what they're saying. Interesting. Our drilling operation near the mountain lake. I'd like to remind you that our drilling operation is entirely legal pursuant to initiation L61091 Joja Core Amendment. Responsible stewardship of the local environment is our top priority. Okay. Whatever you say, man. We apologize for any inconvenience this accident may have caused. As always, we value continued support and patronage. Morris, Joja Customer Satisfaction Representative. Well, Joja Customer Satisfaction Representative Morris, you can suck my dick, okay? Exactly. Fuck you, Joja. Drink to that shit. Even though it's just water. What we got? Reach farming level 1 and craft a scarecrow. Build a coop. Yeah, we got our money. Okay, can I make a... No, I can't. I didn't think so. Fun fact, in the expansion mod, they even trap someone in there other than the Adventurers Guild. Bro! Oh my god, I didn't even think about the Adventurers Guild. They literally trapped the Adventurers Guild in there. Like, how were they supposed to get out? Oh, did they have to use the broken minecarts to get out? Or are they truly just stuck? Because either way, that's horrific. And fuck you, JojaMart, for doing that. I feel so bad. Truly stuck. Oh my god. That's so ass. And they're both older men, too. Like, they're both old. And you trapped them. The bridge to the other area. True! The bridge is broken. Oh my gosh. The bridge is broken. Like, holy shit. They're such pricks. Soft hearts, electric souls. Heart to heart and eyes to eyes. Okay, I can crack these open today. Thank fuck. Actually, I didn't check to see if it's a mining day or a farming day or a fishing day. I'll probably just fish either way, but the spirits are in good humor today. Okay, so it should have been a farming or a mining day, but I'm gonna fish because I want to up my fishing level. Brandy, what are you doing? Troublemaker. Lay down. She's like sniffing around the tripod. Of course you know you love his trap behind a shitty course. Oof. OMG, a bot playing in the back? Literally. Hey, come on, get up here. Get from bed. Little old lady. Hey, no, hey, no. I have a big garbage bag in the corner because I'm gonna bring it down later. I just like cleaned up in here before stream. And I can already see where she started opening it a little bit. Huh, you're a little trash panda. You got the coloring and everything with your gray hairs. Can you go lay down, please? I don't want to have to monitor you. Oh, no, okay. Be itchy. That's fine. Okay. Let's go. I wish I could believe. Oh! Worm! Our first lost book. Let's go. You found a lost book. The library's collection has expanded. Yummy! Also, who's just burying books around here? Who just decided to bury books in town? Take my picture now. Shake it till you see it. I'm gonna grab a chest before I leave again. Oh, thank you, Brandy, for laying down. Good girl. There we go. Okay. Linus. I love befriending Linus because then he gives you recipes like Granny does, and then he gives you like little shit. I love him. He's cute. He's a cutie. We stand Linus in this house. Oh, it's community center day. Hi, mayor. Oh, hi there, bitch. Love because the cat moved. There's just a camera on a basket now. No, he's still in there, I'm pretty sure. Is he? Wait a minute. Is he? Oh yeah, he's still in there. It's just dark. Come on. It's still raining outside. Oh. There you go. Some awkward spot. Oh, sorry. Sorry for disturbing your summer. Oh, there we go. What an eyesore. Well, it wouldn't be an eyesore if you'd fix it. This is the Pelican Town Community Center, or what's left of it anyway. I love that I literally have to move to this town and fix their community center that I never used in the past. Like, I have no ties to this community center, and they're like, here, you can fix it. It used to be the pride and joy of the town, always bustling with activity. Now, just look at it. It's shameful. These days, the young folk would rather sit in front of the TV than engage with the community. He's one of those guys. He's one of those people. Hmm. Listen to me. I sound like an old fool. You do sound like an old fool because you are an old fool, motherfucker. We're not listening to sad music. Debbie Ryans. Can you fix a community center that barely fucking benefits you and costs so much money and items? Literally. Georgia Corporation has been hounding me to sell them the land so they can turn it into a warehouse. Or, hear me out, fix the place yourself. Pelican Town could use the money, but there's something stopping me from selling it. I guess old timers like me get attached to relics of the past. Oh, well, you're trying to sell me with this sob story here, but it's just not working. If anyone else buys a JojaCo membership, I'm just gonna go ahead and sell it. How cheap is a JojaCo membership? No, no, no. I would never. I made it past the shit course. Bravo. Here, let's go inside. I don't really need a tour, but also, why are we going in the dilapidated place? Like, it's not fixed. I could get hurt and die. He's okay with it, apparently. Hmm? What's this? I guess Vincent and Jazz must have been playing in here. Must have been. This place is even more dilapidated than I remember. Junimo! Hello! I want a Junimo plushie so bad. Literally any color. What? Part of me wants the green though, just because that's like the classic color, you know? What's the matter? Are you ill? Bitch! Fuck you! I am not ill. Okay? The Junimos just don't like you. Fucker. Shit. Are you ill? You saw something? I wouldn't be surprised if this place was full of rats. I don't think the Junos would appreciate you calling them rats. Look at him. He's jamming out. I love these guys. You're worrying me, August. I swear to God, if there's like if there's a mod or something that makes you go to an insane asylum over this, I'd be so down. Look, I think I'm going to head home. I need some lunch. Yeah, you go eat your fucking lunch, dude. What? Hey, I'll keep this place unlocked from now on. Maybe you can help catch that rat if you have some extra time. I would love to catch that rat. Strange. Very. I'll have to come back and explore this building further. Furious at that man. Hate him. Okay, let's go crack open our geodes. I'm gonna keep the leek and the dandelion. That was weird. Bread! I'm gonna keep these for eating, and if I don't eat them, then I'll sell them. Shut up, okay? I was gonna do it whether you were there or not, bitch. You know what? If anyone was to catch me, I'm glad it's you. I want you to be the only person to know that I rifle through the trash. And then when everyone else comes to you being like, oh, August acting kind of weird, you can be like, oh yeah, they rifle the trash, and no one will believe you because they've never seen it. Have I stood near trash kind of shiftily? Yes. But have I ever cracked open a cold trash can? Nope. You will be the crazy one then. This is my ulterior motive for rifling through the trash. I'm gonna make Mayor Lewis look fucking batshit. Cracking open a cold one trash can with the boys. Literally, cracking open a cold one with the boys. Except said cold one is a trash can. And it's actually not that cold because it's metal and it's the summer, but, you know. Meow. Hello, Elliot. I also don't like that they have a breathing animation. That terrifies me. I'm gonna put those away for now. I will say, I like the training pole is green. I like it. I like it, Picasso. Yeah, sardine! I think I have 2 of these already, so I can sell this one. Bro, I can't wait until my new chair comes in. I bought a new gaming chair. It's not a gaming chair, but it is. Because I'm only ever at this desk when I'm, like, streaming or gaming. And I bought the chair specifically for that purpose. Because a lot of, like, gaming chairs aren't very comfortable. They don't have, like, the lumbar support. They're not good for being in for a long time. So I bought this chair that is supposed to be really comfortable for a long time. And it's supposed to be wide, which I like, because then I can, like, cross my legs and sit in it. Because I sit funky. I always have to have at least one knee bent when I'm gaming. And not in the, like, typical sitting position where, like, both your knees are like this next to each other. No, 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 no. I have to have one leg crossed over the other, or have my legs crossed, or whatever. Like ADHD mayhaps, probably. Probably. Or I like to attribute, because I feel like I didn't used to do this, I like to attribute it to one too many long road trips being stuck in a car. Because there was a road trip that Levi was part of, partially. I went all the way down to Florida via car with my family. We didn't stop at hotels or anything either. And then we would, like, stop at night at rest stops, and one of us would stay awake, so, you know, the rest of us didn't get murdered in the middle of the night. But we'd stay at rest stops for a little bit, and then we'd keep going. And it was, like... I'm talking about the road trip that we went on. But yeah, we were, like, stuck in the car 24/7, and then I got back up to New York after, like, a week, and immediately hopped in a car with Levi, my mom, and my stepdad, and we all drove to Montana, which was a little bit better, because they were more conscious of, like, brakes and stuff for our knees and everything, but still, both were very cramped situations, and I think now my knees are just acclimated to being bent at odd angles for my comfort. Like, having my legs straight or whatever just doesn't feel right. Yes, that was crazy, literally. It's funny too, because looking back on it, I feel so bad for you, Levi, because you were in the car with me, and you were fully prepared to be like, alright, we're gonna play these little games, and make up little stories, and me, I'm just, like, reading the entire time, passing out constantly on and off. I lost a lot of time during those road trips. I was, like, So out of it. If you had asked me at any point in the trip what day it was, I couldn't have told you. Like, my sense of time was just out the window. And I really wanted to be home. I was enjoying the trip, but I also was ready to be in a bed. Like a bed. It was rough. I'm also just, like, not that great at entertaining myself in the car with other people. Because when my brother and I would try to, like, entertain each other in the car, it would always lead to one of us yelling at the other one. Because one of us was being an asshole in some way, shape, or form. So we would just leave each other alone and do our own things. That's okay. That week I went through a journey of making Steven Universe crossover fusions and writing self-insert Markiplier fanfiction. I remember that shit. Oh my goodness. I remember you showing me the fusions that you were drawing. And I also remember us talking about the Markiplier self-insert fanfiction. How are you supposed to get that spot? How? I want it, but I can't get it. I'm a little sad. But yeah, all that to say, I'm very hyped for the new chair. My stepmom gave me her old office chair, and it's so wide I can always sit crisscross because it's the only way I can sit comfortably at my desk. And like, this chair is so old, but I love it. I've gone through quite a few different chairs. I had my dad's old office chair. I don't remember how comfortable that one was. I remember liking it as a kid because I would spin around in the chair. But I don't remember how comfortable it was. That ended up over at my dad's house. And then I think we got rid of it after a while. Then I had the blue office chair, which is the original chair that I was streaming in way back when. And that was not comfortable at all. And then there was this chair, which I had to put together. And is a little funky. No fault of my own, by the way. Don't know why it's all weird. I put it together correctly. It was just like some parts were extremely difficult to put together, and now it does this weird thing with the one arm. Where like this right arm that I'm holding on to right now is very wobbly for no reason, and there's no way to tighten it. But it's like an off-brand gaming chair, so I didn't expect much. But yeah, I have high hopes for this new chair. It's not on wheels, so that is something, but I don't plan on moving it much anyway, so it's fine. I had no chair. I thought I could do this. Alright, there we go. I had no chair, then got off-brand gaming chair I have now. Yeah. I know, I'll have to ask 8, because I know 8 has like a... What is it? Has one of the big brand gaming chairs. It's like the it's the creeper version, but it's like, it's a very popular brand. Let me see. Secret Lab. It's a Secret Lab gaming chair, but it's their like creeper version. Mine is on wheels and the bottom is unstable because I put it on wrong. I have a Joyfly, I think. I have a Furmax. F-U-R-M-A-X. I saw an ad for another Furmax chair when I was buying the new chair, and I was like, I'm good. But yeah, I think I mainly wanted a new chair, not even for the comfort, for like general gaming, but I think I wanted it for the comfort for like when I do longer streams, because there was, ooh, let's see if I can get this. Yeah, because there was that 24-hour stream where I was in that chair, this chair, the entire time, other than, you know, bathroom breaks and stuff. That was rough. Like, by the end of the 24 hours, my ass was numb. I want to upgrade to one with a leg rest because I need to have my legs lifted up more now. Yeah, this one doesn't come with a leg rest. I was looking at a lot of ones that do. I think I might get one though. Like one of the detachable leg rests or whatever. I might get one of those. If I feel like I need one with this chair. What do I have? Anchovies. Did I get anchovies yesterday? I don't remember. I feel like no matter how good of a chair I have, I always get sore. I mean, duh, arthritis. And so I don't want to spend money on a super good chair if I'll just get the same results. That's very fair. Melanie, hell yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, I totally feel that. I feel like if you, in your case, obviously I don't know what it's like to live with arthritis. And like that joint pain and everything, but I wonder if getting a better chair, you'd have the same outcome, but I wonder if it would take longer, you know, because you're in a comfortable chair. Again, I don't know how that all works for you, so I don't know, but I wonder if maybe it'd just be like a not getting rid of the pain, but like a prolonging it type of thing, you know? True, might prolong it, mayhaps. Yeah, depending on what doc says, I may adjust when I get SS. Well, soggy newspaper! Like I said, this chair that I'm getting isn't wheeled. You can probably put wheels on it, but it doesn't come with wheels. But if I do end up liking it, I'll let you know. I tried out gaming chairs in a store once, but to really tell the effect, I'd have to sit there all day. Exactly. Exactly. That's why I've been tempted to buy chairs in stores that off the bat feel comfortable, but like you said, like this chair is comfortable. Like it's decent when I sit in it immediately, but after a little bit it starts to hurt, so you'd really have to try it out all day, which sucks. My gaming chair has been great for my back, but terrible for my legs. Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna eat these so I can grab the bread and the chest. Because those are the things the only things I care about. But yeah, I'll let you guys know how this new chair is. Part of me wanted to get a gaming chair again because, you know, gaming chair for gaming. But a lot of people say that gaming chairs are kind of like a lot of things. It's really all about the brand when you buy them, and they're not actually that comfortable. I almost got like one of the chairs that's made for like office work with lumbar support and everything. I don't remember. I think I just ended up finding this chair that I bought and liking it. And like in that time, I didn't find a chair with lumbar support that either wasn't super expensive or wasn't like had some issue with it, you know. I know you can use seaweed for cooking, so I'll keep it. You can make maki rolls and shit like that. Sushi. Yay, I can make a scarecrow! Eat shit, crows! Level 3 fishing. +1 fishing rod proficiency, new crafting recipe crab pot, new cooking recipe dish of the sea. Being very honest, the best chair I've ever had was made for sitting on the floor, and well, that doesn't work very well with a desk. Very true. There's gotta be someone that has like a floor desk. You know? Like it's set up so you can just sit on the floor. There's gotta be. Oh my god. What are you doing? Okay. She was walking funny. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? She's good though. She's alright. She's just itchy. Yeah. Oh, did you get hot? I'm sorry, old lady. The spirits are very displeased today. They will do their best to make your life difficult. Well, screw you, spirits, okay? We also don't have that chair because it's back in Vegas and probably in the dump by now. Wow. Vegas? I've got some new items in stock. A deluxe fishing pole and some bait that you can attach to it. You can use bait to make fish bite faster. Hope to see you soon. Dear Farmer August, I'd like to apologize for joking about your grandpa's old cottage when we first met. It's really a nice little house. However, you might need some more space someday. That's where I can help. If you bring me some raw materials and pay a fee, I can expand your house. Continued on next page. The first expansion I offer includes a kitchen. With a kitchen, you'll be able to cook any recipes you've learned. Anyway, I hope you're starting to feel at home in Stardew Valley. Your local carpenter, Robin. Can we just talk about how much I love Robin, but also, why do we need to get the materials for her to make our shit? Like, is that not part of her job? To just have the materials or to get the materials? Why the fuck do we have to do that? Why do we have to get it for her? Like, we're already paying a ton of money anyway. I don't understand. Actually, before I leave, can I make 50 wood, 1 coal, 20 fiber? I don't have the wood. Nope, she's a carpenter, not a miner and lumberjack. That's gotta be part of her job, though. Like, yeah, she's a carpenter, but, like, you don't see carpenters being like, oh, you want a custom table? Sorry, you're gonna have to go chop down a tree for me. Like, bitch, go get it yourself. I'm paying you for this reason. They order this stuff from miners and lumberjacks. Why do I have to fulfill that? But you can't order stuff like that here? Why do I have to fulfill that role? Why am I just the go-to person? I don't want to be the go-to person. To be fair, she never says how you have to procure it. True. I could steal. Just says you have to get it. I love that my brain right went to theft. Oh, I should have gone to the traveling cart yesterday. Sorry, I'll try to remember tomorrow. That's one thing I've never been good at, is remembering to visit the traveling cart. Okay. Let me empty out your trash cans. I think I just want to have beef with everybody for some reason or another, you know? I think I'm just looking for a fight. I'm looking to tussle with the villagers. Hi, open my geode, please. Ooh. I'll say I'm gonna give that to Gunther. Oh, Gunther! Oh, Gunther! Hello. Abysmal. Well, it's not about to be. Not a single piece in the entire... I have a piece. I have a piece for you in my hand right now. Piece. Calcite. What's this? You found something? Let me see it. Clinton Lewis, trash. Everyone else redeemable. Accurate. Take it. I brought it just for you. Remarkable. Thank you. I know I am. It's very old. Well, okay. I'd love to study this in greater detail, but it is yours. No, I brought it for you. You can have it. Take it. I've got a favor to ask you. What's up? Would you consider donating any new artifacts or minerals that you find? That's what I'm doing. We can make a groundbreaking discovery together. That's what... Yep. Yeah, oh, and who knows, if you keep donating, I might come across something interesting. Across some interesting items to send your way. Well, that's why I'm doing this. You can take it, please. Think about it, will you? If you well, I don't need to think about it. I don't need this. You can have it. If you decide to donate, just bring the objects to the front desk. What? Sir, please. Just take it. I have things to do. Boing. Yeah, 250G for doing something I was gonna do anyway. Let's go! This is a book by Marnie. Animals are very sensitive. They like to be pet every day and prefer to eat grass outdoors than dry hay. They don't like being outside in the rain, though. Happy animals produce higher quality products. To be fair, a lot of people don't like being out in the rain, so I get it. Oh, I was gonna go to the store. I forgot about that. Hello, Pierre. Dude, once I start mining, I'm gonna collect amethyst for my baby Abigail. I really like rain. I don't know how I feel about being out in it. I think I dislike it slightly because of the whole glasses situation. Me and Abigail will be eating rocks together. um, but other than that, I really like the sound of rain. Um, like even if it's steaming hot, I will purposefully turn off my AC and open up the window just so I can listen to the rain pitter-pattering outside. Like, love it. Okay. Let's go fishing! Sorry, I'm messing with a bump on my finger. That's why I have this finger bandaged up. Because I can't fucking leave my fingers alone. Oh, wait. Trash cans. Trash cans. It's a trash can, not a trash can. Oh, bread! Oh, I left my bread. That's upsetting. I didn't mean to leave my bread behind. It is what it is, I guess. He is playing Phasmo. Ouch! It's okay. Tell 8 I said hi. I'm gonna open up 8 stream. 8's not streaming. I'm gonna tell 8 to stream. I'm gonna tell 8 to stream just so I can lurk. I won't. I'm just gonna say hi. With no purpose behind it. There we go. I just have him on Steam. Do I have you on Steam? I do, don't I? I know I have 8, Finn, and Levi. Yeah, I don't have the Steam notifications on because my brother would be playing and I would get notifications every time that he was playing. Can I help you? I just wanted to say hi. Is that a crime? To say hello while my friend is playing Phasmo? It is a crime. Lock me up. And throw away the key. Yes, we're friends on Steam? Perfect. But yeah, I have my Steam notifications off just because, like, my brother would be on and off the game all day, and I would get a notification every single time, and it got annoying. So. Give me this fish. Mm-hmm. Whee. I have them on and enjoy it the most when it's just Scarlett's playing wallpaper. Fucking wallpaper. I turned around to look at my dog and she looked at me and licked her lips. I don't like that. Don't do that. She's saying you look tasty. I don't want her to say I look tasty. Oh, now she's playing dead. Quite an abrupt change. My eyes itchy. Every once in a while I think I hear a noise and I always have to check and see if she's growling. Because if she's growling, then that means she wants out. And growling is always the precursor to barking, so I have to be aware. Oh, good jump. If you have an old dog, always compliment their jumps when they jump up onto a bed or just up onto a surface. Because we all know that those joints are not doing too well. A lot of times when she tries to jump, she just fails. Like, that's the only way I can describe it, is she does all this momentum for jumping, and then it's like her back half just isn't following the program. Isn't reading the same script as the rest of her. And so she'll end up with 2 of her feet on the bed and 2 of her feet off the bed. Sometimes dangling off the bed. Sometimes just 2 feet on the floor, 2 feet on the bed. Same for old cats. True. It's kind of a sad thing to say, but I've never had a cat meet old age. So I haven't had the chance to go, good jump, to an old cat. Pretty much all my cats have, like, died of something. One had feline leukemia, one had bone cancer. I don't remember what happened to the other ones, but they were not old when we got rid of them. We didn't get rid of them. I want to clarify that. I would never. Give me my fish. Our cats are definitely not old, 13 and 12. That's like getting close, isn't it, though? But at the same time, I feel like old for a cat is like 20. Yes, my sibling lives in denial and they're both super healthy. That's fair. I feel like depending on the cat, like, your definition of old changes too, because some cats show the age so much more than others, you know? Like, they look scraggly and scrungly, and their hair looks all unkempt, and they're walking funny, and... But then there's other cats where they're technically old, but they look the same as they have for the past, like, 6 years. The worst we've had is Cat breaking his ass twice. I'm sorry? That is the most unlucky cat ever. Oh my god. What do you have to do to break your ass twice as a cat? Oh my god. Like, I know dogs hurting their tails tends to happen a lot because of, you know, thumping it on against shit and stuff. But not breaking your ass. Speaking of cat injuries, my aunt and uncle had a cat, they might still, named Stumpy. The cat lost its tail why, they don't know. When they got her, she just didn't have her tail anymore, and you could tell it was from like some traumatic injury or something. And Stumpy was the cutest motherfucker, I swear. Like, her and her little stump tail, and like, she was shy, but when she realized that like you weren't gonna spook her or anything, she was so sweet. Such a little cutie. Welcome back, Ray. Anyway, Cat's in lamp mode because of his broken ass until the end of today. Oh, that's amazing. Speaking of cones, I had to educate my mom on the new kind of cones that are like, that look more like airplane pillows. Because we walked past, we went to Moe's and we got food and then we were leaving and we walked past this car and in the passenger seat is this dog and it has the like, the soft like pillowy cone thing. It's meant to have the same purpose as a cone, but it's more like an airplane pillow in the way that it's shaped and the stuff it's made out of and everything, and it like completely encompasses the neck. And my mom was like, "What is that? Does that dog have a pillow?" And I go, "Well, yeah, but it's also supposed to be like a more comfortable cone and it's harder to get off." I'm pretty sure it's harder to get off, which is part of the appeal. And because it's more comfortable, animals are less prone to want to take it off, which we could have used when Piper was hurt a while back. She had like I think she had a cut on her paw, and she kept messing with it, and every time we'd put a cone on her, she'd bump it up against the wall until it broke off. So eventually we had to put a sock on her. We had to put a couple socks on her to keep her from getting at it. I'm gonna eat my bread, fish a little bit more, and then go home. Yeah, we thought of getting Cat one, but Kitten is very prone to removing collars from him. Very fair. Yeah, Shadow, the cat that is in the little bin right now, in the top corner, he has never been a fan of anything around his neck. His sister was worse about it. She's very itchy. His sister was worse about it, because even when we got her, like, collars, she'd hate them and she'd get them off as quick as possible. But he was pretty much the same, like, cones, collars, you name it, he hated it. If he wasn't trying to take it off, he was stink-eyeing you for putting it on him in the first place. He was, like, a little bit more tame about his dislike. His sister, she would not stink-eye you. She would just do everything in her power to take it off. Like, she would squirm, she'd kick, she would fight every second until it was off. Whee! Taking my time. I wanna be the sand inside that hourglass. Okay. Let's get out of here. I don't want to push it and then be walking home all slow. Good night, Willie. Love you. Mwah. We love the old man. What a cutie. Okay. I couldn't remember if I got the trash cans today, but I did. We're good. And he's got a body just like an hourglass. taking my time. I wanna be the sand inside that hourglass. Save our Garbo. Beautiful. Put those in there on the off chance it's a good vibe day. Yay! Recycling machine! Let's go, baby. I'm gonna get a fucking line of these things. I'm pretty sure I don't have the stuff to make them, but I don't care. Now I have something to live for. Alright, let's see. Yeah, we don't have the iron bars for it, but I don't care. I'm gonna get it as soon as possible. Queen of Sauce! The spirits are very happy today. They will do their best to shower everyone with good fortune. Okay, so it's a mining day. What do we got? Greetings, it is I, the Queen of Sauce, here to teach you a new mouth-watering recipe from my secret cookbook. This week's dish, stir fry. It's a perfect way to get some healthy greens on your plate. Saute the greens in a little sesame oil and make sure to add plenty of fresh ginger and garlic. Now breathe deeply. Oh, that's good. Learn how to cook stir fry. Let's go. I'm gonna be a fucking connoisseur. I'm gonna be a Michelin star chef by the time I have a kitchen. Back. I ran out. Go, go, go. There we go. Do you need water? Nope, you're good. I know I don't have the cat yet, but I want to be prepared. I want to have the bowl full for when it arrives, because I know I will undoubtedly forget. Oh wait, I don't have the thing. There it is. Okay, and then we grab the bread. And then I'll get the sword when I'm down there. Okie dokie. Oh, I got a hiccup. Dandelion. Last one this season. That's a leak. Fuck. Are horseradish is a late season thing? They've gotta be, right? I'm gonna stop at the community center on the way as well. Hey, Palace Sandman, how's it going? But yeah, I want to get the community center thing going so I can go visit the wizard when I get the chance. Worms! Ooh, copper ore. Don't mind if I do, boy. Realistically, I shouldn't be bulking up all my shit. But maybe I shouldn't be filling up my inventory with all this, but I don't particularly care. Okay. And then tomorrow, I think, we get the letter. So we'll be able to go visit the wizard, learn how to speak Junimo, and get the community center going. I'm gonna stop at the house and sell this stuff that I don't need. So hyped, just got blush. Ooh, hell yeah. Skeletal hand. Yeah, that's very cool. Glad to hear it. Oh, 2 skeletal hands. Nice. What are the chances? Can I? Okay, I can. Because I got pickaxe this time. I can sell one of these because I don't need both of them. Alright, time to go mining finally. Get some moolah for today. Sometime when I'm pissed at someone, I want to take this specific song and send it to them. If it's like, if we're fighting over something stupid, I'm just gonna send them this song. And just be like, do you get it? Someone was throwing rocks at my tent last night. I just had to wait it out. Who the fuck? What motherfucker is fucking with Linus, alright? I'm gonna kick your ass, bro. Bullying a man who can't even pay for a house. Unbelievable. I will rock your fucking world, and not in a good way. Marlin! I was just peering down into this old mine shaft. It's been abandoned for decades. Did you see anything interesting? Still, there's probably good ore down there. But a dark place undisturbed for so long, I'm afraid ore isn't the only thing you'll find. I'm okay with that. Here, take this. You might need it. Thank you. You received a rusty sword. Hold on. He gave me a rusty sword. If I was, say, Abigail, or didn't know what I was doing, could I not cut myself and get seriously injured? Marlin. Name's Marlin, by the way. I run the Adventurers Guild right outside. Or do you think it was some sort of test? Do you think it was some sort of subconscious test? Like, oh, I'll give you this rusty sword, and if you do well with it and don't fucking murder yourself with it by accident, by cutting yourself, then you'll be okay in my book, you know? I'll keep my eye on you. Prove yourself, and I might think about making you a member. Okay. Two things. One, fun fact, Blahaj is actually pronounced more like blowhigh. Blowhigh. I knew I was pronouncing it wrong, but I didn't remember the actual pronunciation. Thank you. Two, he can afford a house, but the sentiment stands. Exactly. Honestly, who would want to buy a house in this economy? Oh, what? I would prefer to live in a tent like Linus. In the future, I'll stream out of a tent. Fine by me. In this economy, who needs a house? Okay, dog, calm down. When we go camping, we stream in the tent. Exactly, exactly. Dude, that future camping trip, we'll do two different ones. We'll do one where we're just recording and it'll be fucking silly, goofy and shit. And then we'll have another one where it's all streamed. So we can like talk with chat and shit. And don't mind me being allergic to everything. I'll bring a Benadryl. It's like people that are allergic to cats, but way worse. I knew it was coming, but it's still amazing. My phone is on low battery. That's what I'm using to show off shadow in the other camera. So I'm either gonna have to cut the shadow cat cam short or find a way to plug in my phone over there. Haha, didn't give me, bitch. Oh, okay, you did give me that time. I'll give you that one. By the way, you're now just a pile of goo in my inventory. Take it, motherfucker. You found a geode. The local blacksmith can break it open for you. Who knows what might be hidden inside? So true. Okay, I'm gonna have to... Once I get to, like... You know what? When we leave the cave for the night, I'll check my low battery thing. Just because I know you can't see Shadow very well, but... I want you to be able to see him if he... You know, cooperates. I'm gonna prioritize getting through the levels, I think, instead of clearing out each floor. MCCI has a rat dealing hatch, just like, oh, that's so funny. Oh my god, that's hilarious. They have the hat mouse. Dude, I love the hat mouse. He calls me Poke. Ooh, earth crystal. His name is Harold in MCCI. Oh my goodness. I love Harold immediately. I haven't even seen him before and I love him. And sells a frog bucket hat that I can't afford. Oh, that's so good. Truthfully, I don't do a lot of business with the hat mouse on here, just because typically he doesn't have hats that I'm interested in. But if he did, I would go to him. Okay. It's not late, but I don't have the instruments necessary to keep going too deep. Like, I don't have enough food. I'll go as far down as I can and see how it goes. Damn, how many? I have 5 already. Oh no. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh no. There we go. You gotta corner them, but it's difficult when they're squirmy. Ow. He fucking drive-by'd me. Don't notice me, don't notice me, don't notice me, don't notice me. Thank you. Ooh, got green algae. Amethyst! I can give it to milady! No, no. Stop it. Get some help. Oh great, we're adding another one to the party. I love this. I'm out of here, bitch. Ooh. Oofa. Anything? Carving knife. It's so tiny. No, I don't need that. We're going for cash money, baby. Oh, it's a rock. It's a crab. Thank you, rock crab. I'm making room. Well, that was pointless. Oh, there was a chest. Oh, fuck. I didn't break it. I'm trying to get to level 10. Fuck. Fuck off! Okay. I'll take that. Anything? He's not even scary, but I just spooked myself because I thought he was something bigger. I'm sorry. If you're listening, Rock Crab, I didn't mean to insult you. You're terrifying. You are the cause of my nightmares. What do we got? Boots! Okay, we're gonna throw that just for a second. Put the booties on. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's get out of here. Honey, I'm home. Alright. Can I sell this? I don't think I can, right? Let's plop that down. Water it. Chuck that in there. Perfect. No, I can't. I didn't think so. That's alright. Go eep beep. And then at the end of tomorrow, so at the end of this next day, I'm gonna end off stream. Just because I typically go from 7 to 9. I just wanted to go a little bit longer because we were in a still sort of mundane point in the game. But now we can mine and do all that shit, so. Yeah, a little bit more cash. Love it. See a glimmer within my scrying orb, a shard of knowledge from the future. The spirits are in good humor today. I think you'll have a little extra luck. Awesome. It's a mining day again. Oh. Hi, Clint. Hi there. Good morning. I noticed that you've been breaking some rocks open and finding ore. That's good. Thank you. I try. If you want to get the most out of the ores you find, you'll need a furnace. Okay? Just so happens I had an extra set of blueprints lying around. Here, I want you to have them. That's so kind of you, Clint. Learned how to craft a furnace. The furnace allows you to smelt metal bars. The bars can be used for crafting, construction, and tool upgrades. Upgrades, people, upgrades. When you've smelted a few copper bars, consider having me upgrade one of your tools. It can make your work a lot easier. Well, okay, I'm heading home. Take it easy. He didn't mention there that even though you have smelted a couple copper bars, you also have to give him, what, $2,000 per item? My sources tell me you've been poking around inside the old community center. Why don't you pay me a visit? My chambers are west of the forest lake in the stone tower. I may have information concerning your rat problem. M. Rasmodius, wizard. Robin here. I know there's a lot of stone scattered around your farm. If you have a surplus, you might consider having me build a well for you. Wells can be placed all over your farm and serve as convenient places to refill your watering can. Just swing by my shop with 75 stones and 1,000 G when you're ready for it, Robin. Oh my gosh, so many letters. I see you've been exploring the old mine. You've got the adventurer's spirit, that much I can tell. If you can slay 10 slimes, you'll have earned your place in my adventurer's guild. Be careful. I will certainly do my diddly darndest. Alright, so can we craft a furnace? I don't know if we can. 20 copper, 25 stone. No, we're 5 off. That's fine. Let's water the crops. And then we'll run over to Clint, crack open the geodes, and go to the wizard's tower. Well, we might reverse those last two depending on what the time is, but... Because if Clint's not open, no use in staying over there. We'll just go to the tower. But if he's open by the time we're done, then we'll go. It's not looking too hot, though. Okay. Yeah. Run, frog. You talk nonsense and you lose your mind. Hello? Journal updated. Let's go. What is that? I don't think I've ever noticed that before. Ah, come in. I am Rasmodius, seeker of the arcane truths, mediator between physical and ethereal, master of the 7 elementals, keeper of the sacred You get the point. I do get the point. You're very important. And you, August, the one whose arrival I've long foreseen. Hold up. What have you seen? Here, I'd like to show you something. Behold! Jubino! They're so cute. You've seen one before, haven't you? I have. In plushy form. They call themselves the Junimos. Mysterious spirits, these ones. For some reason, they refuse to speak with me. You probably disrespected them or something, my man. I'm not sure why they've moved into the community center, but you have no reason to fear them. You found a golden scroll written in an unknown language? Most interesting. I'd say so. Stay here. I'm going to see for myself. I'll return shortly. What was that little spin for? What was the point? I found the note. Glad to hear it. The language is obscure, but I was able to decipher it. We, the Junimo, are happy to aid you. In return, we ask for gifts to the valley. If you are one with the forest, then you will see the true nature of this scroll. One with the forest. What do they mean? No clue. I'm not speaking for them. I don't speak for the trees. Is that a bitch? Aha! What? Come here. Yes, daddy. My cauldron is bubbling with ingredients from the forest. Baby fern, moss grub, caramel top toadstool. Can you smell it? That's a lot to smell. Here, drink up. Let the essence of the forest permeate your body. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. It upped my energy. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. What is going on with my eyes? Oh, okay. I'm high. I got it. He drugged me. Cool. Sick. Damn, this is trippy. If my therapist asks, this is what's going on in my head. You've gained the power of forest magic. Now you can decipher the true meaning of the Junimo scrolls. If I've gained the power of forest magic, why can't I just read Junimo scrolls? Why can't I do something badass? You know? Like, why why is that all I can do? Not that I'm wholly complaining, because being able to speak to the little assholes is nice. But why can't I do something sick, like grow a tree right up someone's ass or something if they're being a dick? You know? I don't know. I feel like there's better things. Alright, let me drop off this shit, and then we'll hit Clint's, and then go mining. It doesn't entirely make sense to go to Clint's when we'll probably have to go to Clint's again tomorrow anyway, but I don't care. I want to get this done. I want to get my cash. My cash money. Yummy. Oh, not that, not that yummy. I'm the trash man. He's gonna, yeah. It was worth it. I got your fucking newspaper, cunt. Okay. I don't like the noise. Another one. I'm gonna sell these. And another. Why does your character look like Yassified Alex? We're not gonna. We're not saying that in this house. No, 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 no. Don't you compare me to Alex. I'm like Alex if he wasn't a jock. Suck. Okay. I'll have to throw in my trash. That's upsetting. Yeah, yassified. Ooh, what's this? Petrified slime. What's that? Slate. Limestone. I have a lot of gifts for our boy Gunther. You know what? I really am yassified. I was about to say I'd be like Alex if he was gay. But yeah, that's exactly it. Take 'em. Yay! What do I get? Did I get pony? I'll take it. Thank you. Bye-bye. This yellow crystal is speckled with shimmering nodules. No word in that sentence was appealing whatsoever. I thought about potentially putting this in my mouth. Not anymore. Alright, let's sell those. I'll plant the cauliflower seeds tomorrow. I know that's kind of dumb, but at the same time, I don't want to waste any more energy when I don't have a lot of food at the moment. Bunny. Saw him in the top. Linus. The crisp air of the wilderness is all I care to know. That's so fair. I live out here by choice. As you should, sir. You live a very peaceful life. I like it. Ding! Down we go. Dug dig. Dig dug. Dugger dugger. The duggers. Get fucked on. Little diggy boy. Ow. Yeah, get fucked on. Anything? No. Okay. No! Give me stairs, please. Give me a ladder. I want out of here. No! I hate these guys. Back, foul beast. Okay, now you're all coming from different directions and I don't appreciate it. Fuck! I'm gonna fucking die, bitch. This would be so much easier if you all would come from the same direction! Get you, my lion. My dindy lion. Bro. There's also the fact that, like, sometimes your character swings the way that you're aiming, but then other times they just don't. So my character just moves when he feels like it. No! I was done with you! Go away! Sir, please. This is homophobic. You don't have bug meat steak yet, I see. Yeah. I knew I was gonna die. It's just a matter of when. I didn't have enough shit down there. And then I got fucked by a bunch of bugs. Found you unconscious in the mines. I almost mistook you for a piece of exotic wood. How dare you? Be a little more careful next time, okay? Next time, leave me there. Next time, let me die. Ow, I seem to have lost 200G and 2 items from my backpack. Take them. Don't care. Take them. Can I eat just straight bug meat? No. Yeah, all I can make with the bug meat right now is bait. I can't make the meat. The steaks. Do I dare? I do. I don't care. I'm going back down there. Wait! No, I won't. I'm not that dumb. Well. Ooh, lover boy. I'm gonna eat now. Nini. Okay, bye-bye. To all you Good Omens fans that are watching right now, you're feeling it right now, aren't you? Sorry you're in the same boat I am. It's okay, we'll get our happy ending sometime. Just gotta harass Neil Gaiman a little bit more. Hey boy, where'd you get it from? Hey boy, where did you go? I'm gonna avoid planting something behind the scarecrow, because even though I want to, me knowing me, I'll forget that there's a plant behind there and not water it, and then it will die. I just need enough to keep me from passing out while I'm planting the rest of my crops. Okay. Perfect. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm not to worry. Alright. A little bit lackluster. Oh my. Where was the bug steak when I needed you? You bastard. Oh, fuck you. Okay. A little bit of a lackluster ending to that day. But now we have the bug steak.